Hi, this is Julie at Love's Beginning with another blog post, but I think first I have a story. I've mentioned before my friend Scott, and I was just at a party with him the other day. He's a longtime family friend, and I just recently, twice in a row, I've been asked about politics, and I haven't been asked about it for a very long time. So it seemed odd to me that it happened twice in a row. And the way it came up with Scott was, I think he asked me what my political beliefs are, and I said apolitical. And then he said, because it's not real, right? Because he's a reader of this blog, or sometimes a listener. And I said, I felt fear right away, but I wasn't aware that what I said next was influenced by fear. I had to, think about it later. I said, I wouldn't throw that stone in this pond because to me, we were out of context. We were at a party with a lot of people. Well, not a lot. It was a small family party, but more than a few. And he just suggested that politics wasn't real. And I didn't have the courage to say, well, no, it isn't. How I've been guided in the past is I certainly don't need to go out in the world and try to convince anybody of anything. It's just by allowing the healing, my own healing, that the world appears to be healed to me. It reflects me back to me. But I have been advised before that when I'm asked a question, I can answer honestly. And I was asked a question, and instead I dodged it. I said, I would not throw that stone in this pond. Now, my sharing this story is ironic. It's just come to me because today's post is all about how action cannot be judged. And here I'm trying to judge all those actions. But I really do feel an invitation to just answer honestly when I'm asked a question. And if the fear comes up, instead of trying to dodge, just maybe take a moment and let it subside and see what comes next. Because it's very easy for me to sit and listen and write from that place where I'm being told how things are. But it's seemingly more challenging when I'm at a party, for example. So thank you, Scott, as always, for your role in my healing. And here is today's post. All desire is for peace. We will explain why you cannot judge action. All action is an expression of the longing to know perfection. The ego interprets perfection in form, its substitute for the perfection all are, in many ways. None of them can be judged, because none of them has any real significance. To say that actions performed in the world have no significance is certainly a challenge to the ego, which has invested all significance away from what you truly are. You hired the ego for the job of distraction, and it's doing its job. It does its job through significance and judgment. Meanwhile, what you all are, regardless of action, shines eternally if you would care to see it. When you are invested in listening to egoic thoughts that judge action, yours or others, you are out of touch with yourself. You are out of touch with the guidance that would carry you gently through the day. It seems incredible, this invitation not to judge any action, but we invite you to see what comes in to replace judgment. All action comes from thought and belief. The thought comes first from ego. When an egoic thought is believed and believed again, it solidifies into a belief, attracting similar egoic thoughts. This is how a personality structure is built. This is how you build personality structures for those you call others. From these thoughts and beliefs come the events that unfold in your world. You are not capable of judging the events, but you are capable of judging how you feel. When you don't feel good, you are relying upon fear to tell you who everyone is and what is happening. You are not even capable of judging how anyone else feels, but you are capable of judging how you feel. If you agree to stop and accept help every time you feel a disturbance, you will soon learn that the world has nothing to do with how you feel. Ego would tell you that the world has everything to do with how you feel, keeping you in reactivity, but you don't have to believe it. All thought and belief come from desire. You experience what you believe to be a range of desires here. Some you call good, and some you call bad. The desire is only experienced because you believe there is something lacking, because you believe you have left the wholeness that you are. It is impossible to leave what you are, but it is possible to make an illusion that distracts you from the truth of yourself, of all selves. You are not capable of judging the quality of a particular desire, but you are capable of knowing when something feels off. When you seem to judge desire, yours or that of others, you are simply delivering to yourself an illusory experience of judgment. It is ultimately meaningless. All desire reflects one desire, the desire to be at peace, the desire to realize the perfection of what we are. When you believe an egoic thought about something in form satisfying that desire for peace, providing a fulfillment that you already are, then desire has become distorted. When you believe you are witnessing another experiencing distorted desire, remember this. What you believe you are seeing in others is what you are trying to hide from in yourself. If you see it in them, apparently separate from you, you don't have to focus on seeing it in yourself. Remember this in any time of disturbance. It's your lesson. It's for you. Pause and remember that it's your opportunity to have distorted thought removed from your mind. Your mind is always touching the mind of the one perceived as other. So if they require a blessing, you are offering it the moment you stop and accept healing for yourself. Think of all minds touching each other in tension, and then one mind relaxes and shares that relaxation. This is the blessing you share. It's only one mind, but when you allow distorted thought patterns to clear, you allow the tension of those imaginary borders between minds to ease. In order to return to full awareness of the peace you are, you must realize that all others across time and space are that peace in full equality with you. You must see that any action or speech comes from the longing for the fulfillment you always are. Even though the world tells you differently, you are not capable of judging one action or kind of speech as better or worse than another. The egoic identity rears up in reaction as you are told that what the world sees as such a simple and natural function, judgment, is entirely fictional and not at all helpful. We are here to help you transition from this ancient and useless tool to the simplicity of settling into the light you are, the light everyone is. We thank you for your willingness to allow everything you once depended upon to fall apart. We see your faith, your knowing that something far greater than fantasy has always been shining underneath the fiction of judgment. That faith is deepening and expanding in your experience, and as it does, all vestiges of the old fall away. We should acknowledge that faith itself does not deepen or expand, since faith is fathomless and without limit. It is what you are. Your remembrance of that true identity is expanding. We celebrate you as we celebrate all. Thanks for listening.